I had always been a skeptic when it came to ghost stories and urban legends, until that night. It began on a cold, moonless evening when I was driving home along a deserted country road. The mist clung to the trees, distorting everything into vague silhouettes and shapes that merged with the darkness. My headlights barely penetrated the fog, and every so often, I would catch a fleeting glimpse of something that didn't belong. A shadow flitting just beyond the beam. I brushed it off as my imagination until I reached the long, abandoned mansion at the side of the road. There, under the skeletal branches of ancient oak trees, I saw them. Two dark figures, standing motionless in the gloom. They were at the edge of the overgrown driveway, their presence impossible to ignore. I slowed the car, my heart hammering as I tried to focus on the shapes. The figures seemed to be staring directly at me, their outlines blurred, as though they were made of the night itself. Every instinct urged me to turn around, to escape the inexplicable dread that crept over me like a slow poison. But curiosity, a dangerous lure, kept me rooted in place. I parked a few meters away and stepped out into the cold. The silence of the night was absolute, broken only by the sound of my own breath and the crunch of leaves underfoot. I approached cautiously, each step measured and heavy. The closer I got, the more I felt as if I were being drawn into a nightmare from which I could not awake. The figures remained, unmoving, their dark forms reflecting no light, no emotion, only a vacant, unyielding stare. I couldn't tell if they were human or something else entirely. Their eyes, if they had any, were hidden in shadows deeper than the surrounding night. A sudden gust of wind shattered the stillness, and for an instant I thought I saw one of them shift. A subtle tilt of a head, an almost imperceptible movement that sent a shiver racing down my spine. I called out, "Hello?" My voice echoed strangely in the emptiness, and for a brief, interminable moment, nothing happened. Then, as if in response, the silence deepened, pressing against me with an oppressive weight. The next day, unable to shake the haunting encounter, I began to research the history of that lonely road. I discovered that decades ago, a double tragedy had occurred at the mansion. Two souls, accused of terrible deeds in life and condemned without a proper trial, had met a violent end there. Locals whispered that on the night of their passing, dark figures, apparitions of vengeance and sorrow, had been seen wandering the grounds, forever bound to the injustice that had claimed them. That information sent my mind reeling. Had I really seen the very embodiments of this long-forgotten despair? Every time I closed my eyes, I saw those dark silhouettes, their silent, accusing stares haunting my dreams. I started noticing similar shapes elsewhere, in the reflective surfaces of shop windows on my way to work, lingering in the shadows,